Welcome back to another video with Mufada here, and of course, as you can see, the new studio is coming out real nice. I'm pretty pleased with it, and let's get right into the video. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through how to apply for a home care license for the state of Ohio, the great state of Ohio. I love Ohio. I've been there a couple of times. Let's get right into it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen and walk you through some of the basic requirements, and I want to walk you through what surety bonds and what they mean, and then I'll also show you the actual site where you can download the forms, fill them out, and get more information about how to apply for a license for the state of Ohio. Let's get right into it. For the state of Ohio, in brief, you have two options. So you have the option to apply for what is called a skilled services, or you have the option to apply for what's called a non-skilled services. The skilled services just means that you would have to hire registered nurses, more experienced caregivers, versus the non-skilled services where you're hiring home health aides or CNAs. So for the skilled services, the application fee is $250 to the state of Ohio, and that's a non-refundable $250. In addition to that, you need to show what is called a surety bond, and I'll cover what a surety bond means, and I'll show you how to do that in the next slide. But basically, for the skilled services, you need a surety bond of up to $50,000. And the application process gives you two options, which you can apply electronically, which is typically the fastest way, or you can mail in an application to the state. For the non-skilled services, everything is exactly the same, with the only difference is that your surety bond is going to be $20,000 required. Now let's cover what a surety bond means and how to get that. A surety bond is basically a contractual agreement amongst three parties. The three parties would be the principal, the obligee, and the surety. The principal is usually an individual or the business, obviously. The obligee is the party that requires the surety bond. In this case, that'll be the state of Ohio. The surety is the third-party company that provides the surety bond. The surety guarantees the obligee that the principal will fulfill the obligations. So if the principal fails to do that, so let's say you as the business owner, you fail to do that, the surety, the company, will step in to cover the financial losses incurred by the obligee up to the bond amount. So remember the $50,000 and the $20,000. And then if you need to know where to get a surety bond, the state of Ohio has listed out on their website, and I'll make sure to add this link in the description of this video so you can find a company that can sell you a surety bond. And these are reputable companies that are already vetted by the state, that a lot of people that have applied for a license in the state of Ohio have already used. So be sure to click on that link to find those companies. So this is the website for the state of Ohio, where you can get access to all the information on how to fill out your forms, and any additional information that I might not have covered in this video, you can get it on this government website. And to know this is a legit website, make sure it's got the .gov in the name of the URL. So again, I'll make sure I have this link in the description of this video. So this is the main website, okay? So be sure to read that, and you'll see the two options that I mentioned earlier, which are the skilled home health services here and the non-skilled home health services. And they've defined what each one means and the differences as well here. So just make sure you read through that. And if you need the forms, let's start with the skilled services, right? So you would have to click on this link right here. It'll redirect you to the forms for the skilled services. And then for the non-medical services, it'll redirect you to this link as well. Now let's start with the skilled services first. So as I mentioned, the fee is $250. It's listed out right there. The two options that you have is to fill out electronically, which is the fastest, or mail in. And they've even put in the address where you have to mail that in. So super simple. And then it says here, skilled home health services surety bond form. And click on that as well so you can be able to fill out the form. And I've also listed in the link of this description box of this video where to get a list of companies that will sell you the surety bond. So once you fill out that form, it'll require you to list out the surety bond that you've already purchased. The forms, this is pretty much where you'll be directed. When you click on the link that takes you to the forms, you're given two options, right? You're given the non-medical and the skilled option. This is probably the most popular option that most people go for, because if you think about it, it's much easier for you to hire a non-skilled caregiver than it is to hire a skilled caregiver, because most skilled caregivers would rather go work for the main hospital, the biggest hospital in your town. So it's pretty difficult to compete with somebody that is making a lot of money at the local hospital. So I would recommend you go for this option because it's much easier for you to hire staff. Again, what I listed out, same thing. Everything is pretty similar to the skilled services. Just make sure to read through everything. Again, the surety bond form is right there for $20,000. So I briefly looked at what the surety bond form looks like, and as you can see, it's not too complicated. So let's just skim through it real quick. It looks like it's just 3 pages, as you can see, and pretty basic information, right? So you can fill this out pretty easily. It's not too complicated. Based on what I've seen from doing a lot of research for different states, Ohio is by far one of the most organized states as far as giving you information on how to apply. So if you're in the state of Ohio and you're looking to start a home care agency, I say you're very lucky, because there's states like Georgia where it's super complicated. You might have to contact the state because the forms are all over the place. The instructions are not crystal clear. So Ohio has done a great job. So if you're in the state of Ohio, you're super lucky. All right, so last but not least, the other thing that most states, including the state of Ohio, will ask you to put together is what are called policy and procedures. Essentially, the state just wants to make sure you're compliant with things like, employment laws for the state. So they want you to put together policy and procedures. Typically, that process is super complicated and long because it requires you to put together a lot of documents, a lot of Word documents, and submit those to the state. We made it easy for you to deal with that. So instead of you taking weeks or even days to put together all these documents to submit to the state, we've created what are called templates. These are policy and procedure manual templates. What these are designed to do, they're designed for you to just download after you purchase. You just add your company information to them, and they should be good to go. So take a look at them, and I've actually done a very detailed video about these very templates so that you see what they look like and understand what is included in them before you make a commitment to make the purchase. If you still have any questions about these templates, feel free to email me, schedule some time. I'll make sure I put a link to my calendar, in the description of this video. Schedule some time, ask me any questions you might have, and I'll also send you a basic PDF. It's an index of every single topic that is included in these templates, just to make sure you understand what you're getting, okay? So there you have it. I hope you got some value from this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Good luck, Ohio.